Hello and welcome to the Brickfreaks. Today, yes, in thicker clothing, because it's very cold and my central heating is down. So I have 10 degrees Celsius here in my dining room and it's a little bit cold. So I have this street working wear. That's a great thing. I have this since years. And earlier years I was a bouncer and stand the whole night before a club. So this was my clothing. That's great. I'm happy I still have it. And yes, I freeze very early on the ears. So I have this here. I have 10 degrees in here. Okay, that's the reason you see me in this Arctic uniform. Topic of the day is the Racing One from Nifeliz. Nifeliz is a company that makes their own set, and they often buy the rights of sets or the sets themselves from Chinese manufacturer and these manufacturers don't sell in Europe or North America. They only sell in Chinese. So Nifeliz buys the sets, relabel them, make their own instructions and so on, and sell it in the rest of the world. So this is one of these sets. It's a Audi R18. That's a LMP series, LMP1 series racing car, like the Porsche 918 or the Bentley LMP racing car. We have the model number 10214. I believe that's the Lego number of the Tower Bridge, if you know. Don't rate me. 1,695 pieces. It's a 1x10. Okay, you get this in a nice box. If you want to buy this, links are in the video description. Okay, so here we have the car. It's typical. All these cars, the LMP1 cars, they look nearly the same. Okay, first things you recognize, it's not stickered. It's, nearly monochrome black. Normally all the racing cars are stickered to hell, and it's the same here. I didn't apply them. I believe it looks better with the stickers. Racing cars looks better with the stickers. But I didn't apply them because I want to give it away after the review. I don't have the room, the space for all the sets I have. So I sell them, and the new owner can sticker it itself or don't if he wants to. Okay. Instructions. One of the best I have ever had from a Chinese company. Really good print, high quality pictures, a lot of pictures of the set in the beginning, so that's really nice. Not just like Mold King or a lot of other companies. So they make really effort here in these instructions. Instructions itself, a little bit small sometimes, but absolutely no problem. Really, really good instructions. Well made, high glossy paper, well glued, nothing to complain. One of the best I have ever had in my hands from a Chinese manufacturer. Okay. One thing, I didn't recognize that this here has building steps, because the numbers in the instructions for the building steps or the sign in the numbers are really, really small. I didn't see it in the first. And the numbers on the back, on the bags you have to open, are very, very small too, so you don't see it. And I opened all the bags, all 60 or something like that, and had all the 1,700 parts on my assembly table here. And it took me 4.5 hours to assemble it, so 4.5 hours the dining table was occupied by my family. Was not happy, but it was the way. But if you build it, just watch closely, it has building steps. I mailed Nifeliz already about 2 problems of the set, the building steps and the pins and the axles. So the next point is quality. All the panels, all the Technic beams, everything is good. Really good. No color problems. Sometimes matte and glossy, but that's with the other manufacturers the same. I had 2 missing pieces. This axle for here. 2 times this axle for the left and the right front wheel, they are missing. But if you're missing something, just write Nifeliz, they send it to you. That should be no problem. But the pins and the axles in the set, the pins you really have to push harder than you are used to. So a little bit you feel it after 4.5 hours on your thumbs. No blisters, but you feel it. And the axles, some of the axles or the connectors, the axles go easy. Perhaps sometimes too easy, and on the other hand with some other connectors it's really hard to push it in. So the set is easy to assemble, but you need a little bit more force than you are used to have from Lego or Mold King or Sembo. You need a little bit more force, like early Chihile sets. Okay, so with this out of the way, the rest is really good. All the panels, the gears, everything, so no problem. Suspension, here you see. It's a little bit harder and stiff, but this is a racing car. The assembly, parts of the assembly, I believed in the beginning I know this car. I assembled a LMP1 racing car from Porsche, I believe 918, I don't know exactly, from Chabelle, the designer Chabelle, and he had the same functions, I believe, here, like in this car. So I don't know if this is a stolen mock, a licensed mock, original self-development, I don't know. If you knew, if you recognize this car, please write me in the comments. I searched on Rebrickable, and on Rebrickable I didn't found an R18 with the parts. Yes. So I don't know. Sorry for that, but I don't know. Perhaps it's a self-development from Nifeliz. The assembly, cool, no problem. 4.5 hours, like I said, a little bit with the thumbs, but it's a very enjoyable build. No super fancy building techniques, but some building techniques I have never seen before in the normal cars I've built here, and I built a lot of cars. So it was entertaining for me. It was 4.5 good hours. No bad surprises, everything is working. The only thing I'm really disturbed is the yellow gear. You see it? Why did they use a yellow gear there and not a black one? With a black one you didn't recognize it. You won't see it with all the black. But this yellow gear, it's screaming in my face. I'm yellow and I don't belong here. Okay, so only Nifeliz knows why this gear is yellow. But if you have more than one part, or if you build a lot, perhaps you have this gear in dark bluish gray or in black at home, so you can change it if you want to buy this. Okay, like I said, assembly is really good. Functions, yes, it can obviously move forward and backward. We have a steering, no hand of God steering, but the steering is detached to the front. That's the maximum we have, so we need a lot of space. I'm a little bit disappointed that we don't have a hand of God steering. It would be it would make the model much better, really much better, if we had a hand of God steering. So Nifeliz, perhaps for the future, have that in mind. It's always appreciated if you have a hand of God steering. I don't know where, but make one. It's a lot of room in here for that, so that's not a point you don't have the room. There is a lot or plenty of space for motors and a battery box, so it's with some brain work of you can make this here a power function car. You need some thoughts about it, but from the space you have, no problem at all. Okay, functions, like I said, it's driving and steering, and we have two functions right here. First, this part, the gear, or to go into the gears to the left or right with this part, it's not slippery. You really have to push a little bit. In the beginning it didn't move at all, and then I moved it from underneath here with my hand, and since then it works. Okay, so first function, right direction, yes. We can open here the motor cover, the bonnet, like in the real car. And now you see there is a 4-cylinder diesel motor connected to the back wheel, to the rear wheel or the rear axle, like in the real car. The real car, the older version, has a 4-cylinder diesel. The newer version has, I believe, a 6-cylinder diesel, and the electric power on this here. So they made this really good. And the motor parts are red if you need this. We have differential only for the back axle, because the front axle isn't connected to the driving gear, to the drivetrain. I don't know if the real car is a 4-wheel drive. It's an Audi. It must be a 4-wheel drive. I would be surprised if it's not a 4-wheel drive, because Audi, yeah, they invented 4-wheel drive. Okay, that's one thing. It's not connected. Okay, other direction. You close this here. Okay. The other thing is here we can open the cockpit to get to the steering. One thing, I made a mistake while assembly. I had only these panels at the end, and then I recognized, oh, this panel is too long to open the doors. There must be another panel. And yeah, I changed panels. So one of these here is the shorter version. This here belongs here and this here belongs there. So if I change now the function, is it in? Yeah. If I change the function, I have to lift here the panels a little bit that the doors can open. Huh? Yeah. Okay. When you don't make this mistake, you won't have these problems. Sometimes, like I said, it's not so good connected here. If you have the possibility, change the part to one of Molking or Lego, so then you have it much easier to open. Ah, it's not going down at the moment. Like I said, this here, at the beginning, it didn't move at all. Man. So, yes, now it's moving again. Okay, in the beginning it didn't move at all, and after pushing it to the left and to the right 3 or 4 times it moves, but it still needs some pressure. So this part is the worst of the set, the quality wise. It's really not going. Normally it should slip to the left and the right, connect to the gears. This here, I don't know. It's a micrometer too thick, so you need some pressure. You see, it was easy to connect to this function, but I needed my hand to connect to this function. Oh, now I forgot to show you. We have one driver seat in the middle, and like I said, the steering is connected here with the wheel, but it's yeah, not really good reachable for adults. Perhaps for children, but I don't know if children wants to play with such a LMP1 racing car. I don't know. Okay, the size for a 1x10, it's absolutely okay. We have 48.5 centimeters in length. We have 12.5 in height, and we have 22 in width. Yeah. So, okay, nothing more to say. Only 2-3 things that I'm disappointed. The yellow gear, then this not slippery function here, not slippery enough function, and the missing hand of God steering. The rest is absolutely okay. This set here cost in Europe, if you buy this on Amazon, with the link in the description, this is 70 bucks for 1700 pieces in a mediocre to good quality, with a very good instructions, with a good assembly, with 2 nice functions. More than a lot of the Lego racing cars have. They only drive and steer. So if you like this kind of cars, these racing cars, these LMP1 racing cars, then you can really buy this. It's absolutely okay. It's not a brilliant set, but it's okay set. I had two missing pieces. You see here the soft axles. There should be one here, and of course one here. They are not in the set. I don't know. They are missing, two missing parts. But if you bought this on Amazon, you just make a request for the parts and Nifeliz will send them to you. Okay? Nothing more to say. I like it, it's not brilliant, but for the money, it's okay. It's good for beginners because you see what you are building. You see what the functions will later do. Perhaps children have problems with the pins and the force they need. But with some help of some adults, this is a really okay, good set. And I think for beginners it's okay because they really see what they are doing. They know, okay, the differential, they see what the differential is doing. They see how this is connected to here, like the bonnet is connected to here, and you change to the gears, you see this. It's a good start into the technic world, I believe, for children or for youngers. This is a good start into Lego Technic. Okay, thank you for watching. I'm Frank. Have a good time. Bye-bye.